Today I am going to be showing you how to divide fractions. So let's say we have 1/3 divided by 1/2. There are rules to follow when dividing fractions. First, you're going to keep the first fraction, so that's 1/3. Then you're going to flip or find the reciprocal of the second fraction. Reciprocal means the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So in this case, 1/2 becomes 2/1. And the last one is to change the operation from division to multiplication. If you have seen my previous video on multiplying fractions, then you will know that multiplying fractions is just simply multiplying all the numerators, so that's 1 times 2, over all the denominators, so that's 3 times 1 in this case. 1 times 2 gives you 2, and 3 times 1 will give you 3. So 2/3 is your answer. Another example. Here we have 2 9s divided by 4/3. So following the rules again, you're going to keep the first fraction, so that's 2 9s, and then you're going to flip the second one, or the reciprocal, so that becomes 3/4, and change the operation from division to multiplication. So the next step will be to multiply all the numerators, that's 2 times 3, over the denominators, 9 times 4. That will give you 6/36. But you can simplify this by dividing both numerator and denominator by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 36 divided by 6 is 6. Your simplified answer is 1/6. However, there is another way of simplifying this. Going back to our previous example, you have 2 9s divided by 4/3. So following the rules, you keep the first fraction of 2 9s, flip the second one or find the reciprocal, so that's 3/4, and then change the operation from division to multiplication. Now, when you're multiplying these fractions, you can simplify it before you proceed to multiplication. So if you have 2 times 3 and 9 times 4 for denominator, if you can find a common factor between a numerator and denominator, then simplify it. In this case, you have 2 on the top and 4 on the bottom. You can divide both by 2. So 2 goes into 2 once, and it goes into 4 twice. The same with 3 and 9. You can divide both by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now you can proceed to multiply on what's remaining. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. So in this case, you are simplifying before you multiply, while the previous example was you multiply before you simplify. You can choose whichever is easier for you. The next example is 3/5 divided by a mixed number, which is 2 and 2/3. So first, you have 3/5. You're going to change this mixed number into an improper fraction before you proceed to multiplication. So in this case, you want to change this mixed number to improper fraction. You multiply 3 times 2, which gives you 6, plus 2 will give you 8, and just copy the denominator. So if you forgot how to convert a mixed number to improper fraction, you can go over my previous video, which is on converting mixed number to improper fractions. So now you can proceed to multiplication. So keep the first fraction, which is 3/5, flip the second one, so that makes it 3/8, and then change the sign to multiplication. Proceed to multiplying all numerators. 3 times 3 is 9, 8 times 5 is 40. Now it's time for your exercises. So if you press the pause button while you're working out on these questions, and press play again to check your answers. And these are your answers. So you have 4 9s multiplied by the reciprocal 7/6. So 4 and 6 you can simplify. Divide both by 2. So 2 goes into 4 twice, and it goes into 6 3 times. So multiply 2 times 7, which is 14. 9 times 3 is 27, and that is your answer. For the second question, it's a bit more complicated. You need to change these mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 3 times 3 gives you 9, plus 2 gives you 11 over 3. And for the second mixed number, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 gives you 6, and copy the denominator of 5. So that now you have 11 thirds divided by 6 over 5. Now, following the rules again, 11 over 3, flip the second one, 5 over 6, and then proceed to multiplication. There's nothing you can divide both numerator and denominator in this case, so you just go straight to multiplication. 11 times 5 gives you 55, 3 times 6 gives you 18. So this is an improper fraction. Simplify that by changing it into a mixed number. So 18 goes into 55 3 times with 1 remainder, and copy 18. And that is your answer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.